He was always very knowledgeable and very respectful of the military. It was one thing that I really do remember about him. I was President Reagan's first Army military aide. I recall coming out to California to pick up President Reagan to take him to Washington. That was a memorable experience because I was introduced to him. I was in uniform, of course, and he looked at me. He looked at my right shoulder. I'd been in Vietnam, and I was wearing the patch of the 1st Cavalry Division. And he looks at me and he said, "First Cav, good man." That was when I knew we had a terrific president to begin with. We came up to the ranch on his first visit to the ranch after he was sworn in, and he looked at me and he said, "Jose, I want you to ride my horses." And I had already asked the Secret Service to get me a very lame horse that I might possibly be able to ride. And the president would have none of it. He said, "No, my horses need exercise, and I want you to ride them." And I said, "Mr. President, what if they fall down and break? I don't want to be responsible." He said, "No, you're going to ride." "Yes, sir." That was the correct answer. So I did add one caveat. I said, "Mr. President, would you please teach me how to ride the horse?" And he said, "Not a problem." And I got my instructions on how to ride horses from President Ronald Reagan. So very, very fond memory for me. I mentioned what a tremendous sense of humor President Reagan had, and I think he did it for a purpose. I recall that my first duty early in the day before I went to meet him, to walk him to the Oval Office, was to call all my friends around Washington to get the latest joke. Because when he stepped out of the elevator coming down from the residence at the White House, that was his first question to me. He said, "Jose, do you have any new jokes?" The correct answer was, "Yes, sir, Mr. President." And I would tell him the latest joke that I had found in the Washington, D.C. area on the way to the Oval Office. Well, I soon found out that what he would do every morning, he would call Vice President Bush, the elder, and his troika of Mr. Baker, Mr. Deaver, and Mr. Meese into the Oval Office, and they would start off the day with whatever funny story was making its rounds of Washington that morning. A tremendous sense of humor and his way of making everybody feel right.